The forest held its breath. Twilight bled into the fog, muting all colour. Ancient trees, gnarled and skeletal, reached out like grasping claws. The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and decay. A young man, barely more than a boy, stumbled through the undergrowth. His name was Finn, and fear clung to him like a shroud. His heart pounded a frantic rhythm against his ribs. Each gust of wind sounded like a whispered threat. Ahead, a shape emerged from the gloom. A cabin, small and derelict, its silhouette barely discernible against the dying light. The only sign of life was a faint, flickering glow from within. Finn hesitated, his breath catching in his throat. He had no choice but to seek shelter. The forest was closing in. The cabin door creaked open, a mournful sound. Finn stepped inside, his eyes struggling to adjust to the dimness. The air was stale and cold, thick with the silence of ages. Cobwebs draped the room like macabre decorations. Dust covered every surface. A single window, grimy and cobwebbed, offered a glimpse of the encroaching darkness. The flickering light Finn now saw came from a fireplace where a few embers still glowed. He moved closer, drawn by the promise of warmth. As he did, a floorboard groaned beneath his feet. The sound echoed in the stillness. Finn froze, his heart pounding. He strained to listen, his senses on high alert. A scraping sound came from the far corner of the room, then silence. Finn took a step back, fear tightening its grip. He told himself it was just an animal, a rat perhaps, disturbed by his presence. But doubt gnawed at him. The scraping sound began again, this time closer. It was followed by a soft thud, like something heavy being dragged across the wooden floor. He backed away slowly, his gaze darting around the room. The shadows seemed to writhe and twist, taking on menacing shapes. He could have sworn he heard a whisper, faint and chilling, carried on the edge of the wind. His eyes fell on a door, partially hidden in the shadows. It was slightly ajar, and a cold, unseen breeze seemed to emanate from it. Finn hesitated. He should leave. He should turn and run, back into the safety of the fog. But something drew him towards the door, a morbid curiosity that he couldn't resist. He pushed the door open slowly, his hand trembling. The room beyond was small and cramped, illuminated only by the faint glow from the fireplace in the main room. The air was heavy, oppressive, thick with the smell of mildew and decay. A single piece of furniture occupied the center of the room, a vanity table with a large, ornate mirror. The mirror was old, its surface tarnished and cracked, but Finn could see his reflection dimly. He took a step closer, his gaze drawn to the reflection. His heart seized in his chest. It wasn't his own face staring back at him. It was a grotesque mockery of his own features, twisted into an expression of pure malice. The eyes glowed with an unnatural light, and the lips were pulled back in a terrifying grin. Finn stumbled back, a scream rising in his throat. He turned to flee, but the door was gone. He was trapped. The reflection in the mirror moved, reaching out from the glass towards him.